And all of a sudden, now we got week 1 of the NFL right around here. We got first time you've been on the program in, since Super Bowl?
Yeah, literally. I think since the Super Bowl, since we were out there in Arizona for the Super Bowl, and but it's good to be back. I'm glad to have football back. That's for sure. Baseball's been pretty fucking boring the last few weeks here of the season, especially since the Cardinals are out of the playoffs.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, it's time. It's time to get football rolling. We're pumped up. We got fancy chats coming up for you every Monday or Tuesday here on FromThe50.com, here on YouTube, Twitch.tv/FromThe50, wherever you guys may be watching from today. Again, if you go to FromThe50.com, it's very simple. FromThe50.com. It's easy because all of our links are on there, Nick. We got the Twitter, we got the YouTube, we got the Twitch, all that good shit, talking football 24/7 here, all NFL all the time. And it's not just fantasy chat. We got a live NFL show every Sunday. We have the bitching hour, which I go live before Sunday Night Football to hear because, Nick, we can't win all of our bets. So, of course, we got to have you guys. You think I can win them all?
Especially you. You can't.
Oh,
win
especially me. See, I thought this is we're turning over a new leaf this year, new season where you're not going to talk shit. No, it's going to be the same.
Your name's going to be on that board for the second time since we started it.
Wonderful. Well, I've only signed it once. You've signed it, let's see, once. So I think we're tied. I'm not sure how numbers work. Yeah. But it's just, we got plenty of time. It's just going to be a great season. We got the great Nick Tolley who has to sign it this year. And I think it's going to be Big Weber Zook's turn this season. It's just the way it goes. The round and round we go,
Hopefully. It's not going to be me. That's one thing. Last year was a down year. I was living in Vegas. I was getting distracted, not putting in the effort on my picks. This year is going to be different.
This year is going to be different where Tolley literally put out the first matchups. And what did you do, Nick? Would you like to tell the audience how quick you picked your picks this week?
Oh, yeah, within 30 seconds. That's just the first one, just to make sure we get something out there. We'll go back and reevaluate, but more than likely, even if I go back and reevaluate, that those picks will still be the ones that hit. And so, sometimes TJ just got to fire from the hip.
I get it, yeah.
That's how magic happens.
Well, that's how you get last place, and you're known to be in last place, so I understand what you're doing.
Hey, you're gonna be distracted. You got a kid on the way coming this week.
Yeah,
super excited for that. But so you're gonna be distracted, and you're not gonna be your focus is gonna be a little off. You're tired.
It
you're
is.
Not sleeping at all.
I'm shocked that I'm here doing the show with you right now. I'll be honest, but
I am too. I'm surprised your wife is letting you. That's
no, it's not. It's not about that. It's about that I thought they'd be born by now. So I got to do the husband and father duties. Now I can talk a little football with Nick Yale. I mean, this is the things I do for you. You know what I mean?
Did you plan that? I mean, having a baby week 1 NFL, that was.
Yeah, of course.
You're gonna be in the delivery room when the Lions are on.
No, when this baby was conceived, we said, of course, it's gonna be opening day of the season. Lions gonna kick the shit out of the Chiefs, and I'm gonna be sitting there wearing an Amon-Ra St. Brown jersey in the hospital. It's just gonna happen. I planned it. Of course, I planned it.
Hey, man, for your sake, I hope it's a boy because the Lions need a new quarterback. So you got some.
Jerry Goff's all right. I like that Jerry Goff.
Jerry Goff.
Nick, we got some questions.
Boy, you gonna name him Jerry?
No, I ain't naming him Jerry. No, I'm not naming him Jerry. I can't do it. I'm not going to tell you the name.
What if your first touchdown score hits? I think you got to name your kid that. If you
I don't think that's a thing. I think it's. Yeah.
Could have done TJ Jr. if TJ Hawkinson was still on your team.
You can't do Junior. It would have to be the third. So we talked about doing the third and Trey and the whole day. Nobody gives a fuck about this. We got fantasy questions, Nick. It's fantasy chat for crying out loud. Bomber283 is asking 10-man league. Hill, Barkley, Olave, Andrews, Herbert, London, Jay Cooks. No question. Just wanted to rattle off those names. What do you think?
Buddy, you gave out the whole freaking lineup there. I tell you what, though, Chris Olave, sleeper this year. Gonna have a big year too, though. He is, getting a little bit of an upgrade. Would you say a quarterback in Derek Carr? I don't know if it's.
Yeah, I would say it's an upgrade. I agree with you. Sure.
Big thing though. Kamara out for the first 4 weeks of the season, I think, with
3
suspension. So
yes, sir.
Olave is going to be probably getting a little bit more action. And Michael Thomas, sure. Did Michael Thomas get waived? Is he still on the team?
He is still on the team, and matter of fact, Nick, he's on my fantasy team. So no, he's very much on the team.
Thomas on your fantasy team, bro?
It was like 7th round, you dickhead. Before you get into this, this is what you do. You start talking shit before you understand the whole situation. Late round pick, and I like it. I like it a lot.
Please freaking flame him for taking Michael Thomas as a flyer. Dude's
Here we
little
go.
harsh.
Nick's Internet. Again, in 2023, the guy's on one of these multi-million-dollar companies, apparently, and we can't even get a fucking internet connection at 8:18 on a what was it today, Monday night? For the love of Christ, Nick. I mean,
Yeah, we're streaming.
how much money do you guys need to make out there for booking sports in Dallas to get a little internet going on?
We got like 3 streams going on, but enough of us jump
Oh.
tripping. Questions coming.
All right, JJ says Amari Cooper, Joe Mixon, or DJ Moore at the flex. Here's my quick question before you answer that, Nick. Why in the hell, who's in front of any of those guys? I feel like those are all starters. You know what I mean?
Moore, Joe Mixon, and who was the third?
DJ Moore, Joe Mixon, and Amari Cooper.
Didn't Amari Cooper just get hurt?
Are you fucking serious?
I think he blew out his hamstring today, yeah. Let me double check about that. I mean, in the flex, though, I'd probably go, I mean, it depends on the PPR league. Sorry for multiple
Hold on.
questions. If it's PPR,
Stop.
PPR
Hold
league,
on. Stop it. Is Amari Cooper hurt? Because my team is so fucked if he is. Nick, I have
we're
Cooper
going to
Kupp.
lose.
I have Amon-Ra St. Brown. And I have Amari Cooper. My 3 receivers are all with the big Q, questionable. Please tell me that's not the case. This is the worst
I
fantasy
don't
season
see
of all
anything.
time.
I don't see anything. I think you're safe. I think you're okay.
Thank God. Where did you get that information? Are you trolling me? Did you see my team
No,
or
it was
something?
a rumor. I mean, I just heard it from one of the Book It guys today here at the house. Someone said something about Amari Cooper getting injured in practice today. So I don't know. I don't know if it was valid or not. I'm doing a quick Google search for you. But flex, DJ Moore, if PPR, full point PPR, DJ Moore. If not, Joe Mixon.
Giants fan says, no, Cooper is good, thank God. Nick, I mean, this is the type of shit I don't miss about talking to you. We've been through a lot together as friends. We've been through a lot together as business partners, hosts, everything, and you dropped that bullshit on me in the first 10 minutes.
Try to scare you a little bit, you know.
I guess
What
so.
else we got?
It's actually really smart because you're not even in my fantasy league, so I don't know how you know he was on my team. Here we go. Nick, can you please rate Josh's team? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Full point PPR. He's got
Okay.
Lamar Jackson, Kenneth Walker, Dameon Pierce, Tyreek Hill, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Andrews, Moore, Williams, Myers, Pittsburgh D.
I mean, that's like a 9 out of 10 in my book. I think Kenneth Walker is going to come back, have a good year. I love the rookie running back. I love the year 2 running backs. I had Kenneth Walker and Dameon Pierce both last year. Both, I think, are going to be in for another big workload. Seattle did draft a second running back, but, I mean, Kenneth Walker is still going to be the guy up there. I mean, you got Mark Andrews and Lamar Jackson. That's a nice little stack there. It's Tyreek Hill and Amon-Ra St. Brown. I do think St. Brown's going to drop a little bit this year. I
No,
don't
he's
think
not.
he's going to have. He's not going to have. Well, listen, like, yeah, Jameson Williams has a suspension for gambling, but when he comes back, I think that Amon-Ra is going to take a little bit of a step back. You got David Montgomery now and Jahmyr Gibbs. So I feel like Detroit, I mean, you know better than me, but I feel like Detroit's going to go more on the run game this year now.
No, the thing is, they're going to be really leaning on Gibbs to be a receiving back. That's why they drafted him. If you watched the I'm not going to go way into it. I'm a nerd about it. But the behind-the-scenes draft room stuff, Gibbs was their guy no matter what. They wanted Gibbs. That's the only guy they wanted. They even thought about not trading back from 6 and taking him at 6 over Bijan Robinson. That's how much they like Jahmyr Gibbs. So
that's high. If you do not overvalue him over Bijan Robinson at all.
All I'm saying is they're going to use him everywhere. And I thought originally, like, as a first-year guy, he was going to be the secondary receiving back to Montgomery. No. Jahmyr Gibbs is the guy in Detroit, 100%, which is awesome. It's going to be a stud. He's speechless.
I mean, they also have Sam. Well, no, I was going to let you finish your comment, or if you're going to go to the chat. But Sam Laporta, too, at tight end, if you're in a deeper dynasty leagues. Not that I don't know how many people in chat are playing fantasy dynasty where you only draft rookies every year, but Sam Laporta is a good tight end to stash on your fantasy dynasty team if you're looking for somebody there at the position. With TJ Hawkinson going to Minnesota now, he's definitely going to get some more playing time. I think he's the number 2 there right now, I believe. But
he's number 2 in Minnesota. Oh, Laporta, yeah. He's number
Laporta
2
in Detroit. But nonetheless, where did Jahmyr Gibbs go to college?
He went to Alabama.
That's right. Yeah, okay.
I forgot where he was before, though. It's a good question. I don't know. Somebody in the chat let us know.
He transferred to Bama?
He was a transfer to Bama. I think it was only 1 season. Somebody tell me where Gibbs was before Alabama because I forgot. Nick, by the way, I missed this, man. I mean, like, we're already bickering back and forth. I feel like it's old times.
Hey, it's like we're in mid-season form already. Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech, that's it. Yes, that is correct. Josh says, would you take Gibbs over Andrews?
No, probably not. I think the tight end position is only getting thinner right now, and I think Andrews is probably in my book the number 2 tight end. I don't know really where you rank your tight ends. I have Travis Kelce far and above number 1, but right there at number 2 is Mark Andrews. I also think George Kittle is going to have a good season again. Darren Waller, TJ Hockenson are also right there, but if you're looking at that position, one or the other, I would probably go over Andrews just because I think a full season of Lamar Jackson, he's going to have multiple games, I think, with 2 touchdowns each, so which is great for Trent's goat whale. He's got Mark Andrews over TDs this year, so I would probably go Andrews in that spot.
Yeah, I like Andrews because I think Lamar's going to have a hell of a season. I do.
If it's Andrews or Gibbs, is that a flex? Is that a flex position?
Yeah,
or
the 2 tight end situation is an interesting one. But if you do have, let's say you have a Kelce and an Andrews, I still would probably put Gibbs over Andrews in that. But, that would be pretty sick, though. I'll be honest with you. Let's see. Sanders and Ayuk for Stevenson or no? That's from Giants fan. I guess that's an early season trade, Nick.
Early season trades, I always kind of shy away from. But, Ramondre Stevenson's one of those guys that he was the guy that won you your fantasy leagues last year because he was kind of the sleeper pick at running back. He wasn't your Nick Chubb type back. He was in a flex position and then came on real strong late in the season. I don't think they're going to use Zeke Elliott too much there in New England, and their wide receivers are always a big question mark. So, I see the value in trying to get Ramondre. I hate Miles Sanders too. Like I really do. I don't like him quite that much, but I really like Brandon Ayuk this year. I think he's going to take the leap over Deebo Samuel, so I probably wouldn't make that trade. Just hang on to Miles Sanders. There's not another running back there in Carolina. I don't think that he's really competing with now that Dante Foreman's
Hubbard's going to be like the number 2, but he's not going to take any snaps away from Sanders from what I understand. So Sanders is kind of the main guy. He's got to be, which is
at
good.
least for the first few weeks of the season. I could only see Sanders' value really going up, if anything. And again, you're going to see. I don't put much value in looking at guys that had a breakout season last year and then trying to get them back. Same thing like I said about Amon-Ra St. Brown. Year 3 for him, I think it's going to be a little bit. He's going to take a little bit of a step back, not a lot, but just a little bit of a step back.
Yeah, he had a hell of a season. I get it. It's the same way I think Josh Jacobs will have a worse season because Jacobs was a maniac last year. I mean, you can't expect that 2 years in a row.
Yeah, same thing. Josh Jacobs. That's another good example.
Thank you, Nick. That was a good compliment. I appreciate that.
An example. I don't think Josh Jacobs is going to nearly have as good of a season as he did last year because I do think I don't really know what the Raiders are going to do, but I think losing Darren Waller is a big loss for them to New York, and then I think, I don't know. Like, do you think Jimmy G's a step down from Derek Carr?
Yeah, I do.
I think it's a little bit of a step down.
They're kind of the same player, but I think Derek Carr's got more upside. I don't know, but I don't know. What are we really talking about here? They're both not great. So.
Right, it's mediocre quarterbacks, yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. You guys can get involved if you want to call in from the50.com, from the50.com. You can hit the call button. It takes you right to our StreamYard link, and you can chat with me and Nick. Oh, my gosh. It's fantastic stuff. And we are here for Week 1 Fantasy Chat. We're going to be here every Monday or Tuesday. Haven't figured that out yet. Hopefully, Nick can make it every week. We'll see. Busy guy, traveling a lot. But for sure, I'll be on. You're going to see me a lot, ladies and gentlemen, which I appreciate. If you like me, awesome. If you don't like me, well, sorry about you. Because we got Fantasy Chat every Monday or Tuesday. We got Weber Wednesdays coming up with me and Big Web. We usually talk sports betting, preview it. Big Web's parlays, which apparently people love to hear. So you can check those out on Weber Wednesdays coming up. We're also live every Sunday from 10:30 a.m. CT all the way up until kickoff. And Sunday night, you get what's called the bitching hour. See, Scott Hansen, Nick, has the witching hour. We have the bitching hour. So that's.
I give you that idea. I feel like I gave you that idea.
No, that was all me. Wow. Actually. Yeah, that's a pretty smart guy.
I think I gave you that idea. I don't think I'm getting my credit. But.
Well, you can take credit. It's not true, but you can take the credit.
I'll take credit then. I'll take credit.
Okay, that's fair. You guys can also go right now to SeatGeek.com, download the app SeatGeek, and your first purchase, use promo code WeberBets. You get $20 off your first use. If you have never downloaded StreamYard, I'm all over the damn place. SeatGeek. Nick, that's where they have tickets. right? If you have not,
if you want to go to a game.
if you want to go to a game, you can go to SeatGeek.com right now. If you have not used it, first purchase using the promo code WeberBets, you get $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek.com. SeatGeek app, WeberBets is the promo code. All right, Chase and Stevenson for Bijan and Amon-Ra. That's from user 185, Nick.
Chase and Stevenson for Bijan and Amon-Ra. Yeah, I would do that deal. I would be the one that wants Bijan and Amon-Ra in that situation. I think, again, Jamar Chase, you're in another situation there where he was banged up a lot of the year last year. He's still going at number 2 in the wideouts, but between Justin Jefferson and Cooper Kupp. But like Amon-Ra, yeah, he's going to take a step down. But again, like I said, not a big enough step down to where he's not a top 10 wide receiver. I think Bijan to me is going to be Rookie of the Year, potential Offensive Player of the Year, potential MVP. Like, I just think he's the most.
Why? I mean, I'll say this.
Why are we so high on Bijan?
Correct. He hasn't had one snap in the NFL, and I'll be fair. Jahmyr Gibbs hasn't either, but like Bijan Robinson hasn't taken a snap, and everybody's like, "Oh, dude, MVP possibly." Like, what are we talking about here?
Because he's the guy that, if you watched him play at Texas, he's the closest thing coming out of college since Derrick Henry. He's big and he's fast too. Okay,
that's a big comparison to do, though. I mean,
yeah, it is
early.
It is a big comparison to do, but I do think also if you look at the Atlanta Falcons offense, the workload there, they have a good offensive line, and they have a young quarterback in Desmond Ridder who's still trying to figure it out. A couple good position players in Drake London and Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts needs to take a step up this year for sure. But I think with Bijan, he was kind of the piece that Atlanta offense was missing, and I feel and I know that they're going to work him quite a bit early on and often in the season. So it's just like your workload there. If you're getting Bijan over again in this situation, this trade situation, trading Ramondre and getting Bijan, to me that's a huge upgrade because, like I said, I think Ramondre is not going to be the Ramondre Stevenson that he was last year. I think Bijan's going to be the premier player. So that to me is a huge upgrade. And then if you're looking at Amon-Ra over Jamar Chase, yeah, in that situation you take Chase, but you have to take a little bit of a step back if you're getting that upside in Bijan. I like the upside in Bijan over Ramondre more than I like the upside in Chase over Amon-Ra.
For fantasy, I understand, but as like actual NFL player,
We're talking fantasy here.
Well, I know, but like I just feel like everybody's like, oh, the Falcons are gonna be good because they got Bijan Robinson. Dude hasn't taken a fucking snap in the NFL yet.
Like, I mean, who do you think's winning that division? Not to get off sidetrack.
Probably the Saints. I'd have to say the Saints is my number one, and then close behind, I think it's Panthers gonna make it interesting. I do. So.
Hey, Baker Mayfield won the starting job in Tampa today. So
yeah, I love it. Hey, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, he got a little something going on there. I don't know.
I traded away Mike Evans and DeAndre Hopkins in my fantasy dynasty league. Again, that's another tip for fantasy dynasty players: is you got to know when to trade your old guys and start to get young again. And if you want to compete long term in dynasty leagues, you can't hang on to your veterans for too long. Because I think guys like Mike Evans obviously have already hit their peak and are now on the downslide. Although, quick point about Mike Evans, I believe he hasn't missed a 1,000-yard receiving season since he came into the league.
Is that right? How about that
stat? This is going to be the first year that he doesn't, as I think Baker's an absolutely dog shit quarterback in Tampa Bay. But, again, you're playing in a division that has Derek Carr, a new rookie, and Bryce Young, and then who's the other team that I'm missing? Atlanta with Desmond Ridder.
Yeah, Atlanta. You're big on Bijan Robinson. Yeah. Yep.
So, I mean, that division's going to be one that's up for grabs for sure.
Yeah, it's going to suck ass. Let's see. Start 2, week 1. Evans, Lockett, Pickens, Tony, Judy, Mims. Like the guy who the Lions picked up? Okay, well, Mims is out. How about... Go ahead.
I think you're talking about Marvin Mims in Denver, probably.
Oh, I don't even know who that is. I'll be honest with you.
Rookie, yeah, I imagine who that they're talking about. I think Russ is going to be one of those guys that's going to take a nice leap under Sean Payton after all the bullshit that happened last year. Denver could be a really good team. So I mean, but in week 1, definitely not Tooney.
No.
Read him one more time.
Tooney. No, see, you got two names confused: Tony and Judy. And then Evans, Lockett, Pickens, and Mims, who apparently is a guy.
Yeah, Kadarius Toney, right? That was.
You said Tooney though.
Kadarius Tooney, Tony, whatever.
Two different names. You know.
I've heard it both ways, but in that situation, damn, I mean, you're probably still going Mike Evans because, like,
You have to go Evans, 1,000%.
you have to go Evans.
Yes.
Lockett's another tough one because you got Smith-Njigba and DK Metcalf there now, so he could take a step down this year.
Would you go George Pickens? Nope, San Francisco. Never mind.
I think so. I think I would probably go Pickens had a great year last year. I'm probably going Pickens, Evans in those two. If it's a two, if I'm picking two of those. Third one that I would like would be Judy because I think Judy's going to come back and have a pretty good year.
I'm going to go Lockett because he's the most consistent and also because Steelers are playing against San Francisco, so I don't love that.
Yeah, look at the matchup too. That's something. And Lockett, I think, is one of those guys where people kind of overestimate him as being a big play wideout because he gets overmatched by DK, and then especially this year with Smith and Njigba coming in to Seattle, he's going to get overshadowed again. But I believe Lockett hasn't had a year where he hasn't been a top 10 fantasy wide receiver.
Yeah, he's consistent. That's the thing. He's super consistent.
Kind of relying on the big play ball though, so that's
true.
If he doesn't get the 60-yard touchdown, you kind of miss out there.
Adam says, thoughts on Trevor Lawrence this season? Oh, Nick, your guy, T-Law.
Baby. You want to hear about the Jaguars? We're going to have a year. We're taking the AFC South. We'll probably be going to the Super Bowl, too.
Against the Lions, huh?
I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be take another good step this year. I love. We don't use that word.
Yeah, we don't. It's a jinx word. We don't use that word. No.
Calvin Ridley. Oh, man, that was such a good acquisition. He looked fantastic in camp. And, you pair him with Christian Kirk. Like, Trevor Lawrence, listen, he's got his weapons. He's got Evan Ingram coming back. He's got Travis Etienne in year 3. The Jaguars' offense is set up to perform and only take another leap like they did last year. And I think he's going to be really fun to watch this year. I don't know fantasy-wise, like, where he necessarily –
Who cares?
Where he necessarily ranks in the – lineup of quarterbacks, but I do like Trevor Lawrence. I think he's going to be a solid fantasy quarterback. And TJ, he's going to lead our Jags to a better record.
What, don't say our Jags. I have nothing to do with that fandom.
Our Jags are going to lead. Trevor Lawrence is going to lead our Jags, my team, to a better record. The Detroit Lions, and you will be giving me a nice, brand new Calvin Ridley jersey at the end of the year and $100. Oh, thank you for that, dipshit.
Yeah. That's fantastic. Well, you know what? Good luck to your boys out there in Jacksonville, Nick. I don't see it happening.
I hope you beat the Chiefs this Thursday.
I appreciate that, but I know you're kind of being an asshole about it. You're not like serious. You're just like saying it.
I would love the Lions to beat the Chiefs.
It would be great, wouldn't it? I mean, that's good for America. Everybody needs to see the Chiefs. Everybody outside of Kansas City wants to see the Chiefs lose in Week 1. 1,000%.
I don't think the Chiefs are missing the playoffs. I don't think the Chiefs are losing that division by any means, like some people are saying.
Right.
But I would like to see the Lions beat the Chiefs. However, if I'm a betting man, I'm taking the Chiefs minus 6.5. So.
Yeah. I don't really disagree with you. My brother, by the way, is going to the game on Thursday. He said he's taking Detroit Lions, Nick, minus 9.5 points.
I mean, that's a donation. What's this?
It's not a donation. It's just
9.5. I heard 6.5.
It's 6.5. No. He is not taking the Chiefs minus 9.5. He's taking the Lions to win by 10.
That's a donation.
Well, the odds are great. Look at those odds, baby. You take a look at those odds, though. Let me tell you, it pays. It pays if it happens.
They don't want to take your money. That's it. Be a smart sports bettor, bet responsibly, and don't do that.
I will say, don't do that, but take them plus 7.5 because that's a good win.
You can take them with the points. That's fair.
With the points is good. All right, next one. Alexander Madison or Miles Sanders? That's from Landon.
Damn. I would say take a chance on Madison. I'm interested to see what they do there in Minnesota. No Dalvin Cook, obviously going to the Jets now.
Who's Minnesota playing? I'm trying to look it up. Let's see. You guys can follow From the 50, fromthe50.com. All of our links on there, all our channels. Our live YouTube channel right now, also twitch.tv/fromthe50. All our old shows are on there, and our podcast feed. Super easy to find us. But also, what's awesome about us is you're like, dude, you guys aren't ESPN. You guys aren't Fox. You're right, we're not. You know why we're better? It's because we get you guys involved. We take calls. From the50.com, hit the call button. You can talk to me and Nick right now. We read texts. We read all your comments. That's what we do. It's the show for the football fans out there, and those national shows will not give you that type of interactions. From the 50, fromthe50.com. Follow along. We're live all season long. TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, all over the damn place. From the 50.com. FantasyFootball.com. Nick, did you find it out while I did that awesome
It's the
tease
Tampa
there?
Bay Buccaneers. Yeah, give me Alexander Mattison against the Bucks.
Are you
know
turning
what?
into Big Web? That you fucked up his name too. What are we doing here?
Alexander Mattison?
Madison. Say it with me.
Madison.
You said Mattinson.
Madison? Alexander Madison.
This is Big Web-esque.
Over Panthers are playing the Falcons on the road.
Taysom Hill. Taysom.
I mean, that's you now.
You get Vikings at home. So you get Madison at home against the Bucks over Sanders on the road against the Falcons. Yeah.
All right.
Give me the Vikings.
Okay. ETN or Mixon? That's from AJ. I mean, I would probably go Mixon.
Probably Mixon, yeah.
Why do you have here's my question again. What running backs do you have to choose between the two? Like, who are you starting over one of those guys? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you would start them both. I mean, I could see, like...
Or is this a DFS thing? This might be a DFS question.
Could be DFS, which again, let me look the matchup for the Bengals, because I know the Jags are playing the Colts.
Nick Ryan disagrees with you. He goes, nah, don't play Madison against Tampa's run D. It's elite. Well,
I mean, yeah, but do you want? I mean, I just hate Miles Sanders. I should preface that statement by saying that I do not like Miles Sanders.
anything Nick says, he does
whatsoever.
not like Miles Sanders. Just remember that part.
Regardless of if it's on the Eagles, if it's on the Panthers, if it's on any other team out there, Miles Sanders just is not a good running back. He even said last year, don't draft me and don't play me in fantasy because I don't give a shit about your fantasy team. So do you really want a guy that doesn't give a shit about your fantasy team? Do you want to be betting on him and putting him in your starting lineups? Probably not.
Probably not. No.
Still a good point though about the Bucks run D. They do have a good run D, so that one doesn't really leave you in a good spot. But yeah, Bengals got the Browns. It's a noon game on the road, so Mixon's going to be on the road, or ETN on the road in Indy. I'm going to take in that situation. I'm probably still taking Mixon.
All right. We do have a caller. I'm going to go ahead and, Nick, you might hear yourself twice here. I'm going to try to fix this echo, but we're going to have Jason on the line. Jason, what's going on, man?
Jason, how are we?
What's going on? J.K. Dobbins or Miles Sanders,
Yeah.
Nick? Thanks for the call, Jason.
J.K. Dobbins again. J.K. Dobbins, a guy that's been injured quite a bit so far in his career, but I do think you rely on him because they're at home against the Texans over Miles Sanders, who I said I hate.
Yeah, well, here's what I'll say. Take Miles Sanders because you can't listen to anything Nick says when Miles Sanders is in the conversation.
Okay, just go play Dobbins and then see what Miles Sanders does.
But here's what I will say. It doesn't help that I have Miles Sanders on my team, so I might have a little reason to pick Miles Sanders.
Yeah, so you're biased. So
You're not, obviously. You're a man of his word.
Biased take J.K. Dobbins and see what he can do for you.
Right. Should I pick Addison or Flowers up? That's from I'm Dope. Nick, he's dope. Why is Addison and Flowers available? What am I missing there?
Addison and Flowers. So you got Jordan Addison on the Vikings,
Zay
Flowers on the Ravens.
But why are they free agents? Why are they on the waiver wire?
That tells me okay, maybe you're in a league where people don't know a whole lot about the rookies. Could be family league, TJ. Could be friends that aren't big into sports. I think probably you go with Zay Flowers and see what he can do because the Ravens wide receiver core right now consists of OBJ, Devin Duvernay, Zay Flowers versus the Vikings, who have the best wide receiver in the league. And not only that, they now have one of the top 5 tight ends in TJ Hawkinson, who's going to be getting a lot of the action. So give me Zay Flowers in that spot.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't know much about Jordan Addison, what he's going to do. I mean, obviously Jay Jettis has taken the majority of those receptions in Minnesota, so I'd probably go Zay Flowers. I'm actually very high on Baltimore's offense. And if people say OBJ's washed up, then Zay Flowers is going to be the guy. And I think Lamar will be, successful at some point this season. I think he's got the new contract. He's just ready to go. The Ravens are being overlooked, in my opinion, and I think Zay Flowers could be a big deal. So I'll go Zay Flowers. How about that? Who should I flex? Perrine? Is it Perine, Nick, or is it Perrine? I think is it Perine?
Samaje Perine.
Perine. There's my big web moment. Perine or Thomas or Ezekiel Elliott. So you got Perine, Michael Thomas and Ezekiel Elliott
That's gross.
in the flex.
That's gross.
That sounds like a 12-teamer to
Where's
me.
Samaje playing right now? Remind me where he's at.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's not Cincinnati anymore. Let's do a quick Google search.
Chat, what do we got here? Let us know where Samaje Perine is.
I
And
mean,
what-
in that situation, off the top of my head, I'm probably going to go Zeke. Yeah, he plays for the Denver Broncos, so you got, Javonte Williams there.
Mhm.
P. Ryan's probably the number 2.
Yeah.
Again, I feel like Russ is going to be either running the ball or throwing the ball a lot. Like, I don't think Denver's ground game is going to get a lot of work unless it's Javonte Williams. And quick stat check, are they in Denver? That's always a big thing you got to look at when the Broncos are playing. They carry the 1, are in Denver against the Raiders. So, home game for them. I think I like Zeke there.
Yeah.
I really don't like any of those 3. I don't like Michael Thomas, but Michael Thomas is at home.
I think
Against
that's who he's
the
talking about. I don't know what other Thomas it would be, so I'm not sure.
So you got Chris Olave.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what other big targets there are there in New Orleans.
Jawan Johnson's the tight end, and I who's the other receiver?
Is it Shaheed Rashid?
No, played for the Well, I'm thinking of whoever played for the Browns.
Yeah, it's Rashid Shaheed.
But I'm thinking of somebody else. Who? Jarvis Landry.
Tre'Quan Smith.
Isn't Jarvis Landry on the Saints?
No, Jarvis Landry got cut. So right now it's
He got
Chris
cut?
Olave,
What the fuck? Okay.
Yeah, it's Chris Olave, Michael Thomas, and Rashid Shaheed are the 3. And then you got the rookie A.T. Perry, and then just 2 other guys. Tre'Quan Smith is one of them, but he's not going to play this week. So really, you're looking at Michael Thomas, who's the number 2. I might actually go Michael Thomas there. I might have all this Michael Thomas slander just because he didn't play it all last year because he's a bitch with turf toe.
This is a typical Nick Yale show. He started out with Michael Thomas is still on the team? Oh, yeah, start him. Abso-fucking-lutely start him.
Well, this is before. I was also probably under the assumption that they had another wide receiver ahead of him. But,
or you just didn't, know about him. Either way.
I mean, God, Zeke is just. I already said that when I was talking about Ramondre Stevenson. Zeke is so gross.
What's wrong with Zeke?
Give you
Zeke's a great backup in New England. He's fantastic.
Give you a goal line touchdown, I guess. What do you think?
I hope the dude scores 8 touchdowns this year because I think he could. I think I'm worried about Ramondre Stevenson as a fantasy player this year because of Zeke now in that spot. Because Belichick, if you've noticed, every starting running back for New England always seems to lose their job or have some kind of split back thing. And Zeke is now going to be the Ramondre Stevenson of last year because Damian Harris was supposed to be the guy. Then Stevenson took over. And now Zeke might take all the opportunities inside the red zone. If he's hot, if he does good, the same thing he did last year.
A lot of question marks at wide receiver for New England. I mean, the reports coming out today about Juju Smith-Schuster's knee could blow up. I think explode is what they said at any moment. And that it is a mess. So maybe they stick more to the run game. I don't know. I think it comes down to Zeke or Michael Thomas. Spending a lot of time on this one, but that's really a coin flip. I would probably lean Zeke.
Let's see. Standard rate my team: Watson, Breece Hall, Gibbs, Walker, Evans, Lockett, Kelsey, George Pickens.
I think probably 7.5. I
I'd
think
say
your wide receivers,
6. Yeah, your receivers are a little tough.
Your receivers are a little bit older, and Evans and Lockett, we talked about that a second ago. I think Pickens is definitely good value. All the other spots, obviously, Kelsey, you got the number 1 tight end there. Who's the quarterback in that one, did they say?
Let me scroll back up.
Christian Watson, while you look at
Deshaun Watson's the quarterback.
Okay. I mean, again, a little bit of a question mark there, what he's going to do this year, but has a little bit of upside. Christian Watson I think he's going to be one of those guys that maintains his value as he did late last year. He was kind of one of those late waiver wire pickups, trades late in the season that won a lot of teams' leagues, but now he gets Jordan Love at quarterback instead of Aaron Rodgers. So,
right.
Plus you have Dobbs. I don't know how to say his last name.
Joshua Dobbs.
In there. And then, Romeo.
Who are you talking about? Oh, you're talking about the Packers. I was like, hold on a second.
The other Packers wide receiver that was a rookie last year.
Romeo Dobbs. Yeah.
Yeah, Romeo Dobbs. So, again, that one's kind of tough because you're just getting a little sketchy at wide receiver there. A lot of question marks, but I think the running backs sounded good. I don't know what they said with the running backs, but I thought it sounded good.
Yeah, running backs seem good. Receivers are a little questionable.
Yes,
I'll go 6.
I know that was, yeah.
I'll go 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10.
Who do you have on your team? Let's go through our teams real quick.
Oh, well, let's do this quick because nobody gives a shit. So
nobody ever gives a shit. That's the one thing about fantasy. You can roster bait over your own team, and literally no one gives a damn. I'll read through mine real quick.
Here's what we'll do real quick before you read it, just so we have the audience involved a little bit. This is going to be maybe a 10-second bit by both of us. You guys rate our teams. Give us A+ all the way down to F, what the ranking of fantasy teams. Real fast. This is the stupidest segment of all time, but Nick, you go first.
We should be giving people grades instead of numbers. All right, quarterback Josh Allen, running backs Nick Chubb, Najee Harris, wide receivers Devontae Adams, Christian Watson, tight end George Kittle, flex Kenneth Walker, Bills defense Harrison Butker, bench quickly Cam Akers, Deshaun Watson, Drake London, Cortland Sutton, Michael Gallup, Dalton Schultz, and Geno Smith.
Yeah, that's pretty good there. That's really good.
Yeah, Najee's a guy, again, that I think I'm a little high on this year after he had kind of I bought low on Najee, hoping that he comes back. And then again, same thing with Christian Watson. I think he's going to be a guy that kind of maintains value, but I got a top 3 quarterback, the number 1 running back.
Yeah. You're past your 10 seconds. So I will give you I think a solid B is good. The audience likes it. Let's see. Eric says B+, Mark C+, A+ from Colton, 7.5 from Matt.
That's like a B.
Nate Dogg, B+, Giants fan, A-. Pretty good. Pretty good.
Okay, we'll take that. It's like B+ then. All right.
So let me rattle off mine. I don't have my phone. It's got TikTok, so I got to try to remember off the top of my head. I got Dak Prescott. I have Joe Mixon. I have Miles Sanders, Cooper Kupp. I'm on Ross St. Brown, Amari Cooper. What was my tight end? The guy from the Bears. Who's the guy that's from the Bears? Cole Kmet. Dallas defense, Jason Myers. And then I have Michael Thomas, the backup running back for the Saints. That was the Lions running back. I don't know why I'm forgetting. Jamal Williams. Who else?
I would say
That's pretty much it.
D-. No, kidding.
Dickhead.
Wide receivers are strong. Running backs a little bit on the thinner side.
Yeah.
Starting quarterback
is Dak Prescott.
Dak, okay. Yeah, Dak's going to be
I got Dak in like the 10th, 11th round. I got lucky. I mean, he dropped big time.
Mine was an auction draft, so it's always hard to tell between like snake auction. I feel like auction you get a little bit better teams than you do. How many man league is yours?
We got 12.
12, yeah. I'm in a 10, so mine's a little bit more.
You get some more players. Some more beef, yeah. Nick. Some more beef.
More beef, so that's where get my B+ rating.
See what I got. B+, B-. Mark says C-. Someone said Weber's got an F here. Nate Dogg says C+. So according to ESPN, though, they have those like stupid I don't know if it's AI or they rank it. Guess what, Nick? I'm number 2.
I mean that means shit. You're gonna be 12 by the end of the year.
Number 2.
12. That's the thing with fantasy, and this is why it'll be good to have the fantasy chat every Monday/Tuesday whenever we can do it.
Yep.
Is because the real shit happens when it comes down to waiver wire on that Tuesday. I guess it's Wednesday morning, I think.
Tuesday you put so after Monday Night Football you put in your claims, and then Wednesday's when it goes through. Yeah.
So this will be great to talk waiver wire claims and
yes, sir.
Really get to the nitty gritty when injuries start happening, because that's what you got to do. People always think you got to play the waiver wire, but really those injuries are having to navigate, and suspensions like G-Biz. I mean, we got guys getting suspended for gambling. We got Alvin Kamara for punching people.
Mm-hmm.
So the suspensions are always a fun little thing to try to navigate. Tyreek Hill, though, not suspended. He got cleared.
Yeah, 100%. Someone said if Kupp was healthy, I'd say B-. Yeah, dude. Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, that screwed you. Yeah,
so you want to know why I took Cooper Kupp? I didn't want Cooper Kupp. So, Nick, I had the 11th pick in the first round. 11th pick. Okay. And my plan was I did probably 10 mock drafts, and the plan was Stephon Diggs or Devontae Adams, and then on the wraparound I get Amon-Ra St. Brown. Well, the wraparound idea worked, but my buddy Pilch took Diggs at 7. My buddy Willie took Devontae at 8, and now I'm sitting there with my dick in my hand, and I go, okay, what do I do now? And Cooper Kupp kept dropping, and he kept dropping, and he kept dropping. And I'm like, I know why he's dropping, but it's Cooper Kupp at 11. Like, am I wrong to take him there? Like, I could have gone A.J. Brown. Like, I could have gone Garrett Wilson. I'm like, he's right there. Cooper Kupp's right there. So I did it, Nick. I did it.
Yeah. I think people aren't as high on him because, Matt Stafford doesn't even know who anybody else on his team is at this point. So that's a little
saying he's
shocking.
The only guy that's there. That's the good news. Like,
yeah, maybe he gets. I mean, what you got? You got Gerald Everett. You got Tutu Atwell and Van Jefferson is the other wide receivers right now. Allen Robinson, is he still there?
No.
I'm not sure. I mean,
No,
you
he's
got
not.
Cam Akers coming back now this year who, by the way, very high again on Cam Akers.
Mhm.
If I don't know where some people haven't drafted yet, but if you get Cam Akers at somewhere of value, he was the number 1 running back in fantasy in the last 6 weeks last year after losing the starting job early in the season. So Cam Akers could be another guy who Sean McVay said had a really great camp, very high on. Look for him now that he's fully healthy to be a running back, kind of in that RB2 range that bumps up to an RB1. If you can get him as a flex, it could be a fantasy winner right there.
Gotta love it. You guys can call in from the50.com, from the50.com. It's super easy to call in. And guess what you do? You go up to the website, you hit call, you jump into a StreamYard chat with Nick and myself. You guys can ask fantasy questions. This is Fantasy Chat here on Mondays and Tuesdays here on FromThe50.com. Again, my name's TJ Weber, at Weber Bets. That is Nick Yale, the great Nick Yale. Nick, what's your ats at this moment? Nick Yale?
Just my name.
Y-A-H-L.
Y-A-H-L.
Correct. Yale as in the college, but not spelled like the college. Correct.
Correct.
So you guys can follow us all season long. If you're like, who are these guys? These guys are pretty sick, especially that TJ guy. So you guys can follow us again everywhere from the50.com. And we're live every Sunday. We get the audience involved. We're the football fan show. We read comments. We read as many fantasy matchups as possible. We take your calls. We talk sports betting. We keep you guys involved, basically make you a 6th host of the show. So if you enjoy that type of content, you want something different than the ESPNs and the Barstools and the Fox Sports of the world. They're all great, but guess what? They don't get you involved. That's what we do. So it's From the 50 every Sunday, 10:30 a.m. CT, all the way up until kickoff. And obviously we got our shows all through the week. Fantasy Football Chat, Weber Wednesdays, me and Big Web talking betting, the live show on Sundays, and the bitching hour before Sunday Night Football. So follow along. Appreciate all of you, and let's get back to some fantasy talk. Whitley says, can you rate my 12-man league? Fields, Ramondre, Rashad White, Jay Jettas, Waddle, Goddard, Lockett.
12 man, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
What would you say
Break
for a
down.
grade?
I give that an A-.
That's pretty
A-.
good.
The only one I don't like is Rashad White.
Yeah, I'm not sure about Rashad White as well, and I'm not sure about Ramondre. I think Zeke scares me a little bit with Ramondre for fantasy this year.
And
A
you
little
got
bit.
Waddle and Jay Jetta, though, that's
And Goddard is nice, and
You got
Lockett is a
Goddard in
flex.
there.
Yeah, it's
Who's
not
the
bad.
QB in that?
QB was Justin Fields, so
Yeah, again, another guy. I think Justin Fields is going to be one of those guys that takes a leap up this year. You don't have a top 5 quarterback in, the Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, why am I blanking on the Philadelphia Eagles quarterback?
that'd be Jalen Hurts,
Jalen Hurts,
Super Bowl quarterback,
thank you
almost
very
won
much.
it last year. Yeah.
Well, you could get a guy in Justin Fields who's going to give you hopefully over 25.5 pass plus rush touchdowns this year, because I have that in my in one of my bets.
Gotta love that. What are, real quick, Nick, I know this is a fantasy show, but what are your futures bets? Like, give us 1 or 2 futures bets this year here.
Jacksonville Jaguars to win the division, the AFC Championship, and the Super Bowl, obviously. No. Fantasy bets, definitely taking the Jaguars over on their win total.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where it's at. I think it was around like 7, 6.5, 7.5, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But like Jaguars win total, got to ride that one. That one's more of a me bet. I think the New York Jets under win total.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not high on the Jets. I think that Hard Knocks was a distraction. I don't believe Aaron Rodgers is still an elite quarterback, and so under on the Jets win total. A couple of player props.
I like Lions to win the Super Bowl.
Yep.
I do actually like this 3-way division winner parlay. Big Webs has been all over the TikTok stuff, but I really like, I think it's 3-1. Kansas City to win the West. Kansas City to win the West. I think I said San Francisco to win the NFC West, and the Eagles to win the NFC East is 3-1. Those 3 teams, Chiefs, Niners, and Eagles. It's pretty fucking good, 3-1.
I got to figure out. I think I placed this when I was in New York.
This is where Nick ignores me again. He did it again.
No, I like it.
He's such an asshole.
Yeah.
Nick, you want to hear from Nate real quick?
Yeah, let's hear from Nate real quick.
All right. Nate, what's going on, man? How we doing?
Oh, what's going on, guys? What's up?
Doing good. What's up, buddy?
Would you guys want to rate my team real quick?
Let's hear your team. Absolutely. Nick, would you like to rate Nick's team? Nate's team. You're Nick. He's
I would
Nate.
love to rate Nate's team. Let's hear it.
Fantastic.
Okay, so it's Lamar. I got TMC, Bijan, DJ Moore, Amon-Ra, Mark Andrews, Aaron Jones. On the bench, Montgomery, Deontay, Drake London, Kincaid.
Wow. I would
What do you
say I think it's an A minus, Nick.
Yeah, I like that. I like that team a lot. I mean, you got Bijan, you got CMC, who's I always like CMC is always like rated the best fantasy, running back or best fantasy player or whatever, but he's still injury prone a little bit, so you got question marks. But I love Bijan. Wide receivers sounded good.
Yeah.
And then Lamar at QB. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
and I
good
got Andrews at tight end as well.
Yeah, that's solid. I think Andrews, I agree with Nick. He's probably number 2 tight end behind Kelsey. It's a big drop off, but he's.
And you
I
got
like
Aaron
Lamar.
Jones. Kind of cover yourself a little bit at the running back spot, which is good. I don't know, again, what he's going to do without Aaron Rodgers in that offense, but I think that gives you enough coverage at running back with CMC. Even if he does go down, you only have like upside there.
Agreed.
Right. So A minus.
A minus. A minus
minus.
for me. And Nick, you said the same thing. A minus.
A minus. Yep.
Very solid team,
Okay.
Nate. We like it.
I got one more squad.
Let's hear it. Nick, would
Okay,
you like to hear one more squad from Nate?
One more squad.
All right, one
One
more.
more squad. All right. Josh Allen, Amon-Ra, Keenan Allen, Jameer Gibbs, Madison, Travis Kelsey, Miles Sanders, Terry McLaurin, Kamara, Khalil Herbert, Deontay Johnson, Jerry Judy.
Nick, I think that's another A minus. I didn't hear half the names, but it sounded good in the first part.
I heard Miles Sanders, so I hate it.
One more. Wait, okay. I'm gonna repeat it one more time.
All right.
Josh Allen, Amon-Ra, Keenan Allen, Jameer
Yep.
Gibbs, Madison, Travis Kelsey, Miles Sanders, McLaurin, Kamara, Herbert, Deontay, Jerry Judy, Zay Flowers.
I think it's another A minus. That's pretty solid. Is this a 10-man
it's
league,
the
by the way?
top-
You got a lot of guys there.
Yeah, 2-10. That was 2-10-man leagues.
Very nice.
The top
Yeah.
wide receivers there, Keenan Allen, I'm a little low on.
Amon-Ra is my number one.
Yeah. Nick, were you listening?
Yeah, I was. I'm getting a lot of echo here on my end, but
Yeah,
I'm
Keenan's my number two.
All right. Nick, can you still hear? You got a little echo going, do you? This is how we got to figure out the callers, and this is why the callers can hear perfect, and everybody can hear the callers fine. Everybody, don't worry about yourself, Nick. We're good on this side.
good. As long as you guys are good, I'm trying to focus on the lineup.
Nate, anything else, man?
No, that's it, fellas. I appreciate it.
All right, appreciate it, man.
Thanks, Nate.
Appreciate it. Nick, that's
Bye-bye.
Nate on the phone lines. You guys can call in from the50.com. Here, I'll fix the echo for you. Is that better? Do you hear yourself over and over again? Is that what's going on? In me. Lot going on. Well, you know what? We're figuring this stuff out. Yeah, we're figuring this stuff out.
Rate lineups too when you're not even a week into the season. I think a lot of times, again, you're looking at the predictions for the season and where you're going to fall and where you're going to rank. You really need to see a week of football to be like, okay, yeah, that might have been a shit pick, or really 2 to 3 weeks of football before we can kind of tell where lineups really rank and where guys are overvalued or undervalued for sure.
Agreed. Absolutely. Let's see. Someone's saying, how do you call in? It's from the50.com. Nick loves calls, so if you'd like to call in.
I do love calls. I do only have about 5 more minutes before I got to jump.
Yeah, we probably won't take call. Nick, I'm going to figure this out, man, so you guys don't have echo. We're going to try to figure this thing out. But, as you know, I wish we could just hire an audio engineer to take care of all this bullshit. And
Wouldn't that be nice? I am that person for Book It as well. So
yes, so you understand my pain, man.
When something goes wrong, it's spend 4 hours at night trying to figure it out so I'm ready for the next day.
That's right. I like this look, though. It's a good look. When your camera's not frozen, it's fantastic.
I know. Yeah, we got they got the new stew that I'm building up here in the in the loft of
It's a beaut.
of the old Book It house. So there's
Yeah.
a lot of construction going up over here with the new setup for stream and for the podcast, getting ready for week 1 of NFL. But we're excited. I'm excited for fantasy football, really. I'm excited for daily fantasy. I'm excited for season-long bets, parlays, it all. It's all back, TJ. We're
It's all
excited.
back. It is all back. Yes, sir. All right, a couple more fantasy questions, then we'll get out of here. Should I trade away Nick Chubb for Bijan? That's from Brandon Jones.
Ooh, that's a tough one. What's the full trade? If it's a 1-for-1, I'm going to still say no. Nick Chubb's the number 1 running back going in fantasy, and his volume is only going to go up. I think this year with Kareem Hunt now, becoming a free agent, leaving Cleveland, and you got Deshaun now, who's going to be passing the ball more. I think that might take away a little bit from Nick Chubb, but I think it could also help him because I think they'll move the ball better than they did last year. So I would say for now, you have Nick Chubb, or if you have Bijan, I would just hold on to him and sit tight to see what's going to happen before. Like I said, wait a couple weeks. That might devalue one way or the other, but really fantasy football is so matchup based, and that's what you got to look at is like, okay, if I'm trading a guy away, like what's the next 3 to 4 games look like? Like there's a lot of things to factor in, but really it's looking at matchups and stuff like that. If you can trade a guy before a good matchup, obviously it changes their value, but I would just hold tight for now.
Yeah, 100% agreed. All right, let's wrap this one up, guys. I appreciate it. We have some people in the queue for calls, but we got some audio stuff going on with Nick not being able to hear all.
Feel free to keep going.
Yes. No. I got to get going too. We got some stuff I got to get done around the house, but I appreciate it. Again, you guys can call in all the time from the50.com. We will have it fixed where our remote presenters. I'm so used to like the day job bullshit. Remote broadcasters will be able to hear all you guys without echoes and everything. So we will have the phone lines open every single time. This is awesome. This is the first time actually, Nick, we've gone live on From the 50 since we had a massive amount of views on Big Web's videos. So I love it because this is now getting to the level of the Weber Bet stuff, and it's fantastic. And again, guys, we're going to have so many shows all throughout the weeks. Fantasy Football Chat, Weber Wednesdays, the live shows all over the place. You can find them all on Twitch, YouTube, TikTok. Go follow all of our accounts from the50.com. You can find every single link to all of our stuff. So I appreciate it. Nick, any last-minute thoughts to the audience?
Nah, man. Just happy week 1. Hope you win your bets. Fuck the Lions. Jaguars win the Super Bowl.
We still doing our bet, by the way?
Yes, we are. Yes.
Okay. So is it $100? Are we upping it to $200 because we tied last year?
Yeah, it's still 100 and a jersey.
100 and a jersey. Okay, so about $250 or so. Sounds good. Yeah. All right, well, that'll do it for the great Nick Yale. I'm TJ Weber. This has been Fantasy Chat here on the From the 50